My name is Darius Weston.
My name is Samara Lowers.
In our documentary, we will talk about how social technology and increased screen time has hindered the way we communicate.
Now that we have new ways to communicate, such as cell phones, emails, and social sites, all these kinds of communication affect the way people communicate with one another. We interviewed people to ask them how social technology and increased screen time has affected them or the people around them. This is Francis. He's 23 years old. He's from Burlington, Vermont. He's a junior, and his major is rad tech. All right, Francis, how do you feel about social media?
I think social media right now is like it's kind of influencing the teenagers, and there are so many things going on, and social media can be like a negative like side, a bad side, and a positive side to the teenagers. Yeah.
Do you feel as if some people to pretend to be like a person that they're not online?
I think yeah, it's true. Some people pretend to be like how the society view like the lifestyle of like let's say American people to be. It's like different cultural values and different cultural beliefs, and based on that makes the people behave right differently. And sometimes people try to copy their friends' lifestyle, and based on like criticisms and that people talk about others, so they try to copy what goes on the social media.
So is that basically your reason as to why you feel as if people pretend to be something they're not?
Yeah, it's like how the world is going right now is like if you don't try to copy what others do, you like you think people talk bad about you, and people think you are way different, and you don't belong to the society or something like that.
Do you feel as if social media is messing up our youth communication for our generation right now?
When you say messing up, what you actually
Like
you know,
lots of miscommunications, like people don't know how to speak to each other in person,
right?
things like that. Like they rather just do everything through Twitter, through text, through Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, I think that is true, and sometimes that is like a faster way to get access to someone or to communicate, because right now nobody have the time to schedule an appointment with someone. So I think it's helpful in some way that you can communicate like through long distance, and if you don't have time, you can just send an email or text your friend, I think it's better than communication face to face. But it depends on how you view it to be. Sometimes communication face to face is a different thing. It kind of show respect, and it's a different thing altogether. Everybody and how he or she feels communication is. Someone might think meeting you in person is like waste of time, and it's helped to limit time, and it's efficient sometimes too.
Thank you.
Got it.
This is Amber. She's 20. She's from Connecticut. She's a junior and her major is criminal justice. So Amber, do you text a lot?
Yeah,
How much?
24/7.
All day? You talk to a bunch of people?
It's usually the same people. I don't really text like new people. I just text the same people. It's just I text the same people a lot.
Have you ever had a conversation through text that led to an argument because of a miscommunication?
Yes, usually because it's texting. Nobody knows the tone of your voice, so you can say something and it comes out sounding more rude than you intended to. You probably didn't even intend it to be rude, but because it's not in person, it can be blown out of proportion.
True. Would you rather someone ask you a question or confront you about a situation through text message or in person?
I feel like either way is fine. I'm pretty reserved, so texting is cool. So I can just be like, all right. But if somebody was to confront me about something in person, that's cool, as long as they don't get crazy and like try to come at me like some type of way. Other than that, either way is fine with me.
So if a person has a problem with you, you'd rather them, you wouldn't care either way if they texted you or told you in person that they have a problem with
don't
you?
come at me crazy.
Yeah. Why do you think so many people like hide behind their cell phones and their computers instead of just being upfront with people and saying what they have to say in person?
Probably just cowardice. A lot of people are like all talk. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could cuss you out, call you bad names, bully you behind the phone, behind the computer screen, because there's really no immediate actions done because nobody's face to face with you. So that's why you see more online fights than you do real fights, because nobody really ever comes out and tries to start it.
Speaking of online fights, have you ever seen like a Twitter fight or an Instagram fight?
Probably. I haven't really been on Twitter like that. I've never really seen an Instagram fight. I've probably seen all three. I just can't recall. I've seen like bullying on Facebook though. Like I remember there was this one in high school. There was this one girl who was like, "Yo, like if I get 40 likes, I'll tell you who the biggest slut is in Windsor High." And then she ended up getting 40 likes, like more than 40 likes, and they tagged the girl and just said all kinds of names about her. And I was like,
do you feel like that's necessary?
no, because I mean, who cares?
That's not necessary at all.
Who cares?
It's not.
I mean, if she's a slut, I mean, that's her business. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel as if our generation has communication issues all because of technology?
Yeah, I do. Notice like a lot of people don't talk on the phone like that because you can just text, and talking on the phone has become uncomfortable because everybody's used to just texting. Dealing with conflicts, a lot of people don't like to do it in person, myself included sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to really talk about it in person just because I don't feel like it, but I don't really have a problem. But yeah, I feel like our generation is like getting consumed by technology. That's why I started reading a book.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amber.
You're welcome.
Honestly, like, social technology does really mess up people's communication because for example, like, I remember once my friend, she got upset at my other friend because my friend had posted a picture and her breasts were showing a lot, like they were popping on her shirt, and my friend commented, and then my other friend commented on my friend's picture and she was like, "Oh, put your boobs away." And then after she commented that, she went on Twitter to go and tweet like, "Girls need to stop finding excuses to be thoughts. That's like as in like a slut. That's what that means." And my other friend, she took it as she was talking about her, but she really wasn't talking about her. She just assumed she was talking about her. She was honestly just talking about it in a general statement. And my friend, she got really upset. She's like, "I hate how she does that, blah, blah, blah. How's she gonna judge me for that? It's really not even that serious." Because my friend, she's like really judgmental. She judges people a lot for no reason over the littlest things. Like she's a real fundamentalist. Like everything has to be that way. And if it's changed, then it's wrong and it just shouldn't be done, you know? And she got so upset with her about writing it. She was like, "I don't like her. She needs to stop doing that because that's just unnecessary." And I told her, I'm like, "No, she wasn't talking about you. Like, I swear she wasn't." And my friend was really confused. And it was like funny. I'm just like, why would you even assume that? Like, why would your own friend even say that about you, you know? And like, it's crazy how technology can really just make things like that happen.
From our data, we have found that social technology and increased screen time correlates to social anxiety. We feel this way because social anxiety it hides from like face-to-face interactions, and the way that we communicate now is not face-to-face communications. We don't interact with one another. We rather send a text message or email. Am I right, Samari?
Yeah, like I really feel as if that's way too. Like I see it happen a lot. It really does happen a lot. Like people, they just assume things, and then instead of taking it to the person's face, they go on social media, they throw a subliminal message, and then it blows up to something that it really wasn't meant to be. Like it's just bigger than the situation it really should have been.
So that's what we found from our researches and then from our interviews. We found that social technology, increased screen time, does affect teens' communication skills, and we feel that it correlates to social anxiety, and that's just our documentary.
All rights reserved to
So, the public, everyone watching this video, do not communicate through social media. You can, you know, if it's a joke or whatever. Don't use your phone, say it to face, so they can know how you feel and get the 100% vibe, so that they don't twist anything or anything. They just get everything right there.